Hey guys, it's your Hubba host, or Kid if you prefer, so I'm back with another video. If you hear popping, that's because I have fireworks going somewhere in my neighborhood. Don't know where, don't care. Anyway, so this was brought to my attention because I was literally watching the Flashcast of Yellow Flash, and somebody had brought up this 10-year-old girl denied abortion in Ohio. Now, let me preface this. I am only covering this to get the story out there in regards to, I'm not sure if this is real or not. I really don't. There's no information. And they're alleging that this 10-year-old who is a rape victim and 6 weeks and 3 days pregnant was denied an abortion in the state of Ohio. Now, I did do some reading and found out that as of 8 hours ago, abortions are completely banned in the state of Ohio, and also that lawmakers of Ohio says baby born of rape incest still has a right to life. Now that I generally agree with, but there's a few things that are just kind of going off. I'm already getting a few red flags about this story. One, she's 6 weeks, she's 10 years old. Body's not fully developed, so there's got to be some complications down the pipeline, because if you're having your monthly, because at that point your young girl's breasts are not fully developed, and it's a case by case with each young woman when she was going through puberty. However, so that's red flag number one. Red flag number two, if this was the case where the young one was allegedly violated in such a horrible way, why wasn't she taken care of sooner? You know where I'm going with this? Like, check for damage, check for other things, and you're telling me that a young girl was violated, nothing was done, and now she's 6 weeks pregnant, seeking an abortion, which can cause further physical complications. You see why I'm having issues believing this? Even because Yellow Flash was reading the comment section, even he goes, something doesn't sound right about it, and he's right. It doesn't sound right at all. So I'm going to read the article because everybody's reporting that it's The Hill. They're using The Hill as their source. A 10-year-old girl was denied an abortion in Ohio after the Supreme Court ruled last week that it was overturning Roe versus Wade. Now, notice how we don't get a timeline, because if you look up, is abortion banned, and I'll actually do it right now. Abortion ban as of 8 hours ago. 8 hours ago. This is 8 hours ago from my time, July 2nd. Okay? Let me actually pull up the timing of the article as well. You have July 2nd, 12:35. Yeah, 8 to 9 hours from my time. So literally today. Let's continue reading. Because like I said, we don't have a timeline. We don't have a timeline for any of this. It's super, super vague. Last week, that it was overturning Roe versus Wade, demonstrating the tangible impact the High Court's decision is having on patients seeking access to medical procedure. So there might be a lot more of these weird stories coming out. A child abuse doctor in Ohio, again, we don't get name, office, nothing, contacted Dr. Caitlin Bernard. Now, we do get a name here, and I have yet to look into see whether or not that's a real one. An obstetrician, gynecologist in Indiana, after receiving a 10-year-old patient who was 6 weeks and 3 days pregnant, the Indianapolis Star reported. Again, I have to question, if you have a rape victim, why was the girl not properly tended to? Because, like, that should be, okay, let me see if I can say this carefully. I'm not sure what the standard procedure is for women and young girls who are violated that way. So it should be common sense, at least to me, makes sense to me as a woman, to not only check for physical damage and to make sure to keep an eye on the victim/survivor for several weeks, because pregnancy can happen. Like, I don't know if this is a thing, but it should be. So this is why this story is a little weird, and I'm going to look, excuse me, this up real quick. So we have a couple of them that come up, and I don't know if they just picked one, because I type in her name and there's 3 of them? Or is that all the same one? Did they just pick a name? See, there's something weird about this. Anyway, let's continue. After receiving a 10-year patient who was 6, read that. That patient is now heading west to Indiana, given that an abortion ban in Ohio, which prohibits the medical procedure when fetal cardiac activity begins around 6 weeks, heartbeat, had become effective quickly after the High Court issued its decision. While several groups filed a lawsuit, get out of here, seeking to block the state law from taking effect on Wednesday, an emergency stay of the abortion ban was rejected by the Ohio Supreme Court on Friday, meaning that the ban could be upheld as the case is reviewed, the Cincinnati Enquirer reported. Ohio is among a number of states that have rolled back abortion access since the Supreme Court eliminated it's not a constitutional right. It is not anywhere in the Constitution. Stop saying that. That's full garbage. That's garbage. Eliminated, how do I put that? The legal right? The now then legal right to an abortion. Some laws have been paused pending legal challenges. But Indiana would soon find itself passing its own abortion law later this month, given that a special session has been scheduled for later in July, and the legislature is expected to touch on a ban on its not the way that they're trying to pass it off. It's not a medical procedure. Now, I've already talked about like the caveats, and I do believe that the definition of abortion should be tightened. Now, here's the thing, because I don't want to go off into the weeds. I want to focus on this. This does not sound right. There's already so many red flags. As I said, there's now suddenly a 10-year-old girl who had allegedly been violated in sorts of horrible way, and she was left, because I'm going to put it that way, she was left, and now they're saying she's 6 weeks pregnant, 3 days. Boo-boo. You can find out if you're pregnant at 4 weeks, if not a little bit sooner, depending on the HGCI hormone. Pregnancy tests and all that. So this story is horseshit. I'm calling this story horseshit, because here's the thing. Like I said, you have a young girl who's allegedly a victim/survivor of something very heinous, and she was left not medically attended to for 6 weeks, if not 8 weeks, because the 4 weeks, so when you find out, when a woman finds out she's pregnant, they go from the last day of her period or when her period was last. So say if you have your period, you have your ovulation, 3 weeks later, you do the deed and you end up pregnant, and it's noticeable by pregnancy tests, and there's enough of that hormone in your blood to detect it. So what they're going to do, 3 weeks is a little bit early, we'll make it 4 to 5. What they'll do is they'll ask you, hey, when was your last period? And then they'll count the weeks from your last period up until the detection of the hormones. They know, okay, so you're 4 weeks, 5 weeks pregnant. So again, with all the medicine, and this is before Roe versus Wade got turned, because it looks like the Ohio abortion ban just got put into effect today. You're telling me that a 10-year-old girl did not display symptoms because at 4 to 5 weeks, your body starts doing funny shit from what I have read. I have not been that far along pregnant ever. So you're telling me, okay, that when she started to experience symptoms, because 10-year-old's body's not fully developed, even when a young girl starts her menstrual cycle, her body, her chest, her other things are still not fully developed. You're telling me that nobody did anything, that nobody kept an eye on her for the past couple weeks, her system wasn't cleaned out. Is that what you're trying to make the public believe? Like, this is anybody who actually pays attention to their own body, any woman, let me put it that way, because I have to these days, pays attention to their own body, their own cycle, this is going to cause a bunch of red flags to go off. Logically speaking, this does not make any amount of sense. Because at that point, you have a child victim / survivor, you're going to take extra care. And I'm sorry, but no, this 6 weeks, you could have detected something at 4. I'm sorry, I'm calling bullshit. So I don't know if more about this story is going to come out, if they're going to push more, and I don't know why there's a sudden push for this stuff, but watch out for these stories because you're going to see more of them. There's one more story I want to show you, because I also want to show you what to keep an eye out for, and I'm not talking about the medical procedures like the caveats, like the ectopic pregnancy, the septic uterus, the stillbirth. So let me pull up the article. Here it is. Because I want you to watch out for this stuff too. Because I think I mentioned this in my last video. And I'm going to see if I can keep this under 15. Anyway, so they're going to start putting around that women can go to jail for having miscarriages. But there's a caveat to the story. We're going to go to that caveat. So how she went from suffering a miscarriage to being jailed for killing her fetus has become the subject of much discussion. Now, this is a story from last year. But pay attention. When she arrived at the hospital seeking treatment, Pula admitted to using illicit drugs while pregnant. Later, the medical examiner's report obtained by the BBC, and I'll put this link in the description below because I've already posted it on my channel in the community tab. Later, the medical examiner's report obtained by the BBC found traces of methamphetamine in her unborn son's liver and brain. The examiner did not determine a cause of death, which we kind of can already surmise what it is. For the fetus, nothing genetic anomaly, placental eruption, or maternal methamphetamine use could have been contributing factors. So this woman took drugs knowingly that she was pregnant. So you're going to see stories, you're going to see a bunch of screeching of, oh, hey, women are getting arrested for having miscarriages. No. If it does turn out that women are getting arrested for miscarriages, it's because they freaking did something that intentionally harmed their baby. And as for the story of the alleged 10-year-old survivor / victim being denied abortion at 6 weeks pregnant, 6 freaking weeks, you gotta be shitting me. That I'm calling horseshit on that story. If I'm wrong, I will gladly eat crow. But there's no way, and also, because I'm going to caveat this too, if it turns out that story is true, and there's more information, or this is just some sort of weird freaking puff piece that they're trying to pass around to scare people and make people angry, because everybody's citing the Hill, then people need to be gone after, and it's not the lawmakers. The doctor who looked at her needs to be freaking gone after. The parents need to be gone after for furthering child abuse, and let me explain why. is because I've already stated, if you have a victim slash survivor, a child, a girl, and I've got little boys, that thing happens to them too. But we're focusing on the alleged pregnancy. So, if you have a young girl who that happens to, and the gynecologist, the doctors don't keep an eye on stuff, and she's suddenly 6 weeks pregnant, you need to have your license taken away, and you need to be behind bars. The parents too, because at that point you were being neglectful of your child and letting something that not only harmed her get worse, so to speak. And I'm not talking about, so when I say get worse, sorry, my allergies are bad. Get worse meaning you're allowing further complication for the child to endure because things are not getting watched. This could have been prevented. And I'm not talking about her that. I'm talking about after the fact. Had she been tended to properly, medically, if this is true, it could have been prevented. And if this story is true and that turns up the fact that it was not, several people need to be behind bars because you cannot blame the lawmakers for this. This is a lack of, I don't even want to say foresight, but this is a lack of action. This is neglect. And I hope to God it's not true, because it's not going to be the lawmakers that need their heads put on pikes. It's going to be the doctors that looked at her and her freaking parents. With that being said, I am out of here.